Hi everyone, good evening. It's just Damian. I'm just making this video tonight about the difficulties that I have trying to fit in and the difficulties that I have of trying to get a bit more of a social structure, social background and that kind of thing. So and a bit some updates and that as well. So it's quite hard. I've just a bit of a positive update. I've been at the doctor's last week for a doctor's appointment, and they were like saying how I needed to take a step back with things because it's looking like I'm slipping back slightly with some organisations, but I'm generally not slipping back. What the problem is, I'm trying to get my next step on the ladder just for a bit of personal growth, personal progression, and wanting to move forward. And I've got the trial date next month anyway, in a couple of weeks, for the courts, and I'm a little bit worried, a little bit nervous, and I'm trying to get some answers from the police, and they're telling me that I need to contact uh social. They're telling me that I need to contact 111, and I'm like, it's just this vicious circle at the moment where I've tried contacting 111. I said about what the police had said, and this was a few weeks ago, and they said that they didn't deal with Artie suffering with any other mental health issues and that, and I'm like, yes, it's my normal, genuine anxiety. Got an appointment with I've got an appointment with the me doctor in a couple of weeks, and it's fine. I don't need to talk to anyone, and I'm I want the call backs cancelled, so I'm explaining that, and then send ambulances and that out, even though that I'm specific and apologising. Look, it's my normal mental health. It's anxiety. I'm seeing the doctor. This is what's going on. That's what's going on. So yeah, I need to take a bit of a step back. And when I don't go to church every week, but some weeks I watch it on telly, and the vicar on there was saying about taking a step back and that kind of thing as well when you feel like the control's gone and there's too many people involved. So genuinely, I am trying to take a step back, and it's just about taking that step back rather than trying to force everything to happen. Just let things become natural. So it's just a little bit hard at the moment because I'm looking for extra help and support and other opportunities, but because of me not wanting to work with mental health reasons, with mental health services, from what I've disclosed in the past, I have been honest with them organisations, and like, I don't want to work with mental health services from past experiences. This is what's happened in the past. That's what's happened in the past. And I don't want to go down that route anymore. But then they're like telling me I need to go through the police, and then the police are telling me through 111 or whatever. But it's like, I'm just trying to be honest, but dig deeper, trying to dig myself out of the situation. So I'm just taking a step back and trying to look at other options. As I say, the weekend I've sent some applications off to car garages, car dealerships, Virgin Media, a few clothing shops, just and a couple of the local theatres, just to see what activities I can be getting involved with, whether it's voluntary or training, and trying to get that next step in line with how I feel like I am inside. Just it's quite hard at the moment because I've got ideas that I want to bring out, whether it's work, training, and it's like everything that I apply for at the moment is just going around a vicious circle. We think you could do with mental health services. I don't want to work with mental health services exactly. So yeah, the doctors have had a meeting last week with mental health services, so I'm waiting to hear back from there, and I'm waiting to hear back from there, and I know that someone from the job centre is going to be has been in touch with my doctor as well. So yeah, that's quite help. I don't know if it's really helpful or not because I've been trying to get an appointment with the job centre for 2.5 years. It was about October, November 2022 when I was first referred back to the job centre. But it's like I've been ringing up the job centre and that to clarify a couple of things. Like last last year, I'd rang the job centre and can't remember if it was last year or this year. I think last year I'd rang the job centre and like, could I have an appointment, please? Uh, and they said they'll get someone to ring me back, but I think they were just getting someone from the job centre to ring me back, not the disability side of the job centre. And then it's like I hadn't heard anything back, so I'd rang back the next day, and then they like got a bit annoyed with me. You should have rang back it straight away if you hadn't heard anything within that time frame. And then they're like, if you miss an appointment or if you fail to miss an appointment, you could get sanctioned, not sectioned. Sectioning and sanctioning are different, but you could get sanctioned. Nearly said it again. But yeah, it's like I don't know why they were speaking to me like that because anything that I do is out of my own back. It's out of my own back and on wanting to participate. It's not like I'm in a situation where I have to do it, where it's voluntary, not the other thing. So yeah, I'm just trying to get myself on. I'm just trying to get myself a little bit next step of the ladder, next stage, and it's just a little bit circle. So yeah, going back to this video about me not fitting in and how hard it is and that kind of thing. Basically, I like to wear women's clothes and I'm trying to transition my wardrobe into ladies' clothes. I don't know if I want to go on hormones or how far I would like to take it. However, I know that I'm attracted to cisgendered females and transgender females. The reason why I see transgender females as females anyway. However, the reason why I find it easier to talk to transgender females is that I find that we're on similar journey paths and similar pathways in life, and we have similar experiences. And a lot of the time on dating sites, whether that's a specialist transgender one, specialist LGBT one, or a specialist or a normal dating site, sorry, 99.9% of the time when I am getting responses back are from transgender women. As I've stated before, I'm not targeting transgender women as such. I know that years ago I'd had an old Facebook profile and it was most of the people in there were transgender people, but it was through speaking to transgender people on forums or on dating sites. But genuinely, I would like to speak to other types of women as well. However, however, I say because I don't know why, but I find personally that it's easy for me to talk to transgender women, or I find that I'm getting more responses from transgender women. I don't know why, but generally I have been trying harder this year, or yeah, this year and back in the last year possibly. I can't remember, but I have been trying harder the last few months. I should say few months. So I have been trying harder the last few months in changing my dating profile regular, using AI software to help get my profile to stand out more to other types of people and to try to accommodate what my needs are. I'm using AI software more with with any form of email communication, basically, or any form of technology communication, which I find it helpful. However, even with even with the AI help, the AI input, I'm still not getting many people messaging me back. So genuinely, yes. I'm also finding that I'm getting more gay men messaging me, or more gay men messaging me, and and I'm getting more gay men messaging me first, rather than more gay men messaging me first than any other gender. But yeah, I do put my profile on Men Seeking Men. However, this is because of the fact that a lot of transgender women still put on the profile that they're male, or whatever, which I find hard, and that kind of thing. And I have noticed as well on Men Seeking Men that there is some women out there that have accidentally put their profile on Men Seeking Men, and I'm like letting them know, look, your profile is accidentally listed on Men Seeking Men, and rather than checking, they just give me a bit of abuse back, or blocked and abuse back. My profile, my profiles do state that I'm attracted to women and trans women or whatever, and it is quite hard when men message me back. I know that I've just, like, as I say, I find it hard when men message me back. Because yeah, because of that. I would like to attend more speed dating events, more singles events, and I did. My eyes are a bit itchy. Sorry. I would like to attend more speed dating events and more dating events, but it's knowing what category to put myself in because of the gender dysphoria and other stuff. I'm like, if I go to an event or whatever, I'd be wanting to wear, I'd be wanting to wear the ladies' clothes, and I'd be wanting to wear the ladies' clothes. I'd be wanting to get the girls out and that kind of thing. I prefer going out for a meal, and I prefer going out more when I'm dressed femininely. However, as I've stated previously, I don't know how far I want to go with this. I don't know whether I want surgery. I don't know whether I want to go on hormones. I don't know whether I'm just gonna wear ladies' clothes and still identify as Damian. I still feel like myself inside, so it's hard to know where 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 to put myself with dating events and dating sites, and sometimes I'm alternating it to try to see what works best. Like some profiles, I might, if it gives you the choice, that is, I might put that I'm a man seeking a woman, or or I might change it for a while to say that I'm a woman seeking a woman. But genuinely, at the moment, I am in the process of transitioning my wardrobe to female and that kind of thing. I do have jeans and I do have t-shirts that are ladies. I know that they're ladies, but you wouldn't be able to tell that the ladies looking at me, and I wouldn't wear get the girls out with. I wouldn't get the girls out with them. Possibly, I wouldn't uh, get the girls out with them. I wouldn't. Uh, um, wouldn't wear the bra all the time. If I've got a dress on, I would, but it's not about how to fit in or how to label myself. It's like I don't know what labels to use, and it's quite hard sometimes. When I am out, I I go to I go to when I'm out dressed. Sorry, I either use the disability toilets or the males. If I haven't been out somewhere before, I and I'm uncomfortable, I use the accessibility ones, and the disability ones I find that they're cleaner anyway. So yeah, it's known about. It's just hard to know what label to put, and it's like I'm attracted to women. I'm attracted to trans women. And then like people telling me that I'm gay because trans women are born men and um want to wear ladies' clothes. But genuinely, genuinely, I'm finding that being hard, and it's like I'd rather have a girlfriend than a boyfriend. But genuinely, genuinely, it's I get more of an urge to look at women or look at someone when they've got a dress on and they look quite feminine, rather than looking at men, if you get what I mean. So it's quite hard, really, to know how to go about doing that. As I say, I am trying to use AI software in changing my profiles so that I can get out more across of what I want, who I want to date, and that kind of thing. However, I have had some issues with some sites. Like, I've had people on one site telling me to try Grinder, Gator, and that kind of thing. Mainly Grinder. But then it's like, I'm on Grinder and I'll, I'll show you, there is section, the, sorry, it's just loading. There is a section, that says tribes. Don't know if you can see that, where it says trance. I don't know if you could see it there or not, sorry, but it says trance. And when I've been on Grinder in the past, I've changed my profile to state that I'm looking at meeting trans women, and I've had abuse from people in that telling me that I shouldn't be using Grinder to meet trans women, it's for gay men. However, there is a tribe on there that states trans women, and there is a section for trans women seeking men. there is also you can put also I've had some abuse in the past where I have put trans on the tribe, and I've had people telling me to take it off because I'm not trans. But you can either put it on. You can either put it on if you're attracted, if you're wanting to date trans, or if you are trans. And I'm like, I've had people telling me to take it off. I'm not trans. I've even had people telling me to take it off because I'm not trans. When there's a picture on me in a dress with the girls out. So yeah, it's like there is a picture of me there in ladies' clothes and that kind of thing. People telling me that I'm not trans for that. And I'm like, I don't, as I said before, I'm doing what I feel comfortable with. I um I don't want to wear the makeup all the time. I don't want to wear the jewelry all the time. It gets too much for me. I don't. I do want to try to grow my hair longer. However, when it gets hot, and right now it gets itchy, I have tried a wig, and that's even worse. So I've sold that. So it is quite difficult about knowing what I want and to try to please other people within the same spectrum and please other people who identify as the same label or similar label. I've also had abuse on dating sites stating that I've also had abuse, sorry, on dating sites because I've stated that I don't want to date someone with children. Basically, I know people that don't have children, and I don't want children because it's going to be too much for me with my autism or my sensory needs. I have explained this in videos before. I've also explained it in a site description. I'd rather get to know someone first rather than the whole baggage of what that person comes with. I'm not I am not trying to put anyone down. I'm not trying to be offensive. My sister my sister has children, my eldest sister has children, my brother has children, my niece has children, and I know quite a lot of people with children, and I don't mind seeing my nieces and nephews every now and then. However, having children there 24/7 is a bit too much. As I say, I'm the only one out of my siblings that doesn't have children, and I don't mind seeing my nieces and nephews when they come over to my parents or whatever. But yeah, I wouldn't have them round 24/7. But as I say, they're great in small doses. So I'm not trying to be offensive there. It's how I feel and that kind of thing. So yeah, I'm generally just trying to focus on what I want, what other people want, and it is quite hard to know what I want, what other people want, and to try to get that next step on the ladder and progression. As I say, I would like to start dating. I would like someone to be supportive of the gender stuff. I would like to go ladies clothes shopping with someone, and I would like to have girly days, girly evenings. But yeah, it's just about trying to fit myself to a label, and there's no label can, that you can associate with as well. And with with the NHS, as well, you could one part of the NHS see you as one label, and the other part of the NHS see you as another label. Like, for example, if I want support with my autism, with the NHS, they'd class it as mental health support. So the class it is mental health support. However, I am eligible for you're right, sorry. However, I am eligible for the COVID vaccine. With the COVID vaccine for the NHS, I have to put learning disability because class autism is a learning disability that way. And then other parts class it as neurodivergent and that kind of thing. So on some forms for different organisations that I've not worked with before, I have got learning disability, mental health, and neurodivergent because I don't know what label suits me best. So as I say, it's just about looking forward to the future. Basically, I have got things that I'm getting looked into. The doctors are looking into something. Mental health services are looking into something, and the job centre are looking at something. However, they're all linking in with the doctor. So yeah, it's just about taking that next step on the ladder, personal growth, personal development, and yeah, trying to please myself more rather than other people. Yeah, but yeah, on the other side, I am struggling to find a driving instructor for the autism and that kind of thing. However, I have looked at contacting a couple of places like a school and the rugby stadium because I know that they use their large car parks for people practicing driving in that. So I'm just trying to see if I can take my own car or whatever on their land, just with an adult. I am taxed, tested, insured, full license. So yeah, I'm just trying to hear back. So it's like just trying to get things going again to get the next step on the ladder. I know that I need to take a step back, but I just feel lonely. Not lonely, it's just that I want to get out and meeting new people, trying new opportunities, developing the YouTube, developing Danielle, developing myself, developing the girls, getting the girls out. But yeah, it's about personal progression for myself, so I'm just trying to take the next step on the ladder. If, hand on heart, if I hadn't had the court appearance to worry about this year, or or the thoughts and the anxiety with the mental health services again, this would be one of the best years since I can remember since living here, and it's gonna be yeah pre COVID levels more or less. It's gonna be 2 year 2 year on Friday next week since I last overdosed or self-harmed, and some of the anxiety and the flashbacks are coming back from mental health services because of the way that they dealt with me. Because when I was open to mental health services a couple of years ago, it pushed me into overdosing and self-harm again, and I was told by senior management that they didn't mind if I overdosed on more than one occasion. He'd even said it to paramedics who left in tears. So, and I don't want to go down that route again. I am a little bit scared of not making this deadline, but I know that after I get to the 20th next week, I'll be a little bit more settled. I'll be a little bit more feeling myself and again of the because that's a milestone that I really want to achieve, and I don't want mental health services to push me back into that. It did nearly get to 2 year couple of years ago, and the mental health services pushed me into it again, and I don't want the mental health services to be push me into decisions that I don't want. So, and then I've got once the court case and that's done again, I can sort it. I can look into things, do have a meeting next week with the intermediary to try to see what support I can have whilst I'm in court, and just to know what I want rather than what to know what I want and what I need so that I can get help the best that I can. And generally, it is scaring me again working with the mental health services because I've been told by the police and solicitors in the past that talking about mental health is actively breaking the law because it upsets people. And I'm like, I've been told in the past that having a dream is classed as a threat, is classed as a direct threat because the thought process is there. Even it, like, there's been times where paramedics have been out and they've asked what's gone on, triggered my anxiety symptoms, and they're like, I'm like, I had a dream. This is what was going on in the dream. This is this is that, and they're like, we don't feel threatened by you. We have run the mental health services. We didn't want to be ringing the police, but they told us that we had to. And there's been times where I've rang the crisis team and that, and I'm like, we don't deal with intrusive thoughts and feelings, you need to be ringing the police, or we don't deal with this type of mental health, you need to be ringing the police. Even though that my safety plans say that I need to be ringing the crisis team, so this is what led to the court case and that again. Last year I'd run the crisis team and they told me that I needed to ring the police, please told me to ring the crisis team, and I was getting passed on from pillar to post, and I tried another organisation for some help, and they reported me to the police as well, even though that I was saying it was anxiety, no intent, and that I was worried. And then that got me banned from the council as well. So I am trying to follow safety plans and that, but every time that I get reassurance that we're going to do things this way, we're going to do things that way, it's leading to me looking like I don't know what I'm doing, and that I end up getting arrested for things that I shouldn't. So I'm wanting to do things more my own way now, like getting on top of things myself. I'm wanting to do more videos for yous. I'm wanting to get out, do some voluntary work, and to deliver Damian and to deliver Danielle the way that I want to. I don't want to go on medication. People automatically ask when I say that my anxiety is bad, this is bad. Are you on your medication? You need to tell the doctors that your medication's not working. I suggest you take your medication. And it like peeves me off because people think that medication is the miracle cure. And it's like it's not. I want to be able to learn myself about my life's journey path. I want to be able to know that I've tried I've tried this and it's not gone well, and learn how to improve. I've tried this, it's not gone well. Why don't I try that? And why don't I work at it myself so that I can get the coping strategies there that I want, and the coping strategies there that I know that are going to work. And it's much more of a rewarding feeling knowing that I've done this myself, knowing that I've done that myself. When I was having problems with the mental health services and that a few years ago, not naming any names, when they took my first advisor off me, the main reason why it upset me that much was because I felt like that advisor was the only advisor that would be able to help me with my gender journey and my gender reveal and getting on top of the gender. However, that wasn't the case at all. I made Danielle happen myself. I go out regular. I started realizing that the wig didn't work after the first time that I wore it. I'd started with makeup and jewelry, and I know that that doesn't work all the time. And I do that, and I do that when I go out, or whatever. But it's like I know that that's not gonna work all the time. I then started looking for bras and that kind of thing, and it was like I was really embarrassed at first, and then I put it off for a few months, and then it's like I tried it again, and that is helping, and I'm learning how to do that. And when I am dressed, when I've got the girls out, when I see myself in a reflection, whether it's in a vehicle driving past, whether it's in a window, whether it's in a notice board, whether it's in a puddle, I'm like looking at myself and there's much more sparkle in my eye, and I'm like, yeah, this is me. This is the journey that I'm on. This was the biggest fear of my life at some point, but now it's the biggest achievement, or one of the biggest of achievements, and I know that I made it happen myself, not with anyone else. So yeah, I know that I made it happen myself, and I know that I'm going out buying clothes. I know that I'm trying this with the dress and that's not working. I know that I'm trying that with the dress and that's not working. And there is times where people are uncomfortable with the way that I dress, and I get a bit of abuse by it, but I can handle the anxiety more and the abuse more when I'm Danielle or presenting as Danielle, or than I do with presenting as milk or whatever. But it's hard to explain. But I did all that myself, and I don't want anyone to take it off me again. I don't want to be. I don't want to be working back from mental health services again because I've got my life back on track without them, and I've got a really supportive GP surgery now, and they're helping me, and it's a, a joy to know that that I made the biggest thing happen myself without support and the input of mental health services. What have mental health what have mental health services given me that's positive? Nothing. Nothing. It's not worked. It's not worked. People are telling me, why don't I try again? You might, you might, it might be different. However, people are telling me it might be different this time. This might be different. That might be different. And I'm like, it's never is. But when that happens, it makes me a bit more upset and a bit more. It makes me more upset in that when that happens, because I like get into a routine of letting people convince me that it might work, it might be different, and then you try it, and then it was never different, and it just made it worse. So someone suggested today, why don't I? I'm not saying who it was, but someone suggested today, why don't we write to the mental health services and ask them to write down what you can or can't say? And it's like, I've had this before. I've had this before where I've been told that I can say things, where I've been told that I need to say things in a specific way, and then it's like they don't want to know, it's guidelines, recommendations only, and then refer them back to the police. So I just don't want to be in the situation again of I don't want to be in the situation again of being able to not control things, or trying to please too many people in one go. I'm quite happy at the moment. I'm quite content, and it's like, yeah, I made Danielle happen myself. I'm planning on phasing it in again. The clothes, more clothes I'll be getting this year, and I'm just trying to stage it in and phase it in. But it's like, yeah, I made Danielle happen myself and tried the wig, that didn't work. I tried makeup, that didn't work. I tried bras, and I'm like, yeah, that worked. That worked. It didn't work at first because I was embarrassed, but it's like, yeah, I'm trying bras, and it's like, yeah, yeah, I've got the girls out, and I'm like, look at myself in the mirror. Yeah, this is me. This is the journey I'm on. I do still get a little bit anxious looking in ladies' clothes shops when it's busy. I get more anxious at the local Asda than the local George because it's walking distance from my house, so there's more chance of someone noticing me there. But yeah, it's about knowing what I want and knowing what other people want. I am watching YouTube videos and that regular, and I am wanting to develop the YouTube channel and that, and I'm noticing that quite a lot of people have loads of views, and I'm not like that, even though that I've been doing this for years. And I'd watch programs like Auto Alex, Furious Driving, Drive Tribe, and a lot of other automotive channels, and I'm like, yeah, I'd like to do that. Get a car, get a car that's crash damaged, build it up, and do this to it, do that to it, and then it's like the reality sinks in, and that wouldn't be suitable for me because I wouldn't be confident at driving like how they drive and like driving that distance. And I've done mechanics before at college, and it wasn't for me, and that wouldn't be suitable for me. And it's like I watch te- technology programs and as well, and it's like I want to build a PC like this. I want to be able to build a PC like this. I want to be able to do this, to do that. And I'm like, I could build, I could build a game PC. I would know how to do it, but wouldn't use a game PC. I'm like, I've got an old Xbox in the cupboard, and I stopped using that more or less when I moved in, and I have not really played games on it since I moved in. I mainly use it now for videos, DVDs, sorry, and Blu-rays. But I mainly at the moment I mainly stream, and that's through my Fire Stick and through the apps on the telly and that kind of thing. So yeah, that wouldn't be suitable for me. And I look at videos as well on people getting the latest text, the latest tech, the latest media streaming device, and I'm like, yeah, I'd like to try a Google Stream. I'd like to try the Nvidia Shield. I'd like to try this. I'd like to try that. But I don't want to be getting myself sucked in buying stuff that I don't need. And I'm like, the Fire Stick 4K TV Max is more than perfect for what I want. It's like one of the only TV streamers that I can get where I can go view the front door, and I'm like, said view the front door, and I get the front door camera on it, and it's like the Google TV streamer, you can't do that, and you can't do that with the Nvidia Shield and that, I don't think. But I can even do that request. I can even do that request when the Fire Stick's not on. But I didn't even have I didn't even have the doorbell and that set up before I bought that. Before I'd before I didn't even have that set up I before Didn't even have the doorbell set up when I bought the Fire Stick or vice versa. But yeah, that's one of the bonuses with that, and I can go through everything that I want. It's got all the apps and that I want. It's got more apps on it than my Android TV boxes and that I used to have, and it's a good bit of kit, and it does exactly what I need. And then it's like with soundbars and that as well. It's like you look at people doing the media upgrades, the media centers, and it's like I want a big soundbar. I want to do this. I want to do that. But it's like I know when I know that this setup's perfect for what I need. I don't want a full cinema experience. I don't want the soundbar that's got a subwoofer because I'm sensitive to certain types of noises, like especially bass, rumbling. But I also don't want to be disturbing the neighbours downstairs. And it's like going down my own path and that again. It's like knowing what I want and having other people. It's like unusual methods of go down as well, like the Sky stream in that's in the cupboard. I've got an adapter plugged into that, and there's a cable that goes from that adapter into the Sky Stream box, and another cable goes into the TV in here, and then a cable goes up through the loft, down the channel and behind the bed, and into the back of the adapter in the bedroom, and 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 into the telly so I can watch TV, the Sky on two accounts. I know that Sky wouldn't want me to do this because they'd want me to buy another TV puck just to make a bit of extra money. But generally, only I live here, and hand on heart, it's only about 3 or 4 times at most a year that I use it. It's like the main reason I've got that set up is so that I can watch the Formula One races in bed, so that I can watch the Formula One races in bed, so that I don't disturb the neighbours because I can put the headphones on. So yeah, I'm like trying to work on my ideas. I'm trying to bring Danielle out. I'm trying to just be me. So yeah, if you want to know anything else, feel free to message me, and thank you and goodbye.